Hello everyone and welcome to the recap of DevStream 86, which was about update 15 that dropped last week. The stream started with a formal apology about the mistake that happened with the seasonal rewards for completing all the challenges. The outfit was accidentally released to the store when it was added to the game files, and that went unnoticed until the first person completed all the challenges. A similar mistake happened with the emotes, as one of the emotes that was released is supposed to be for the founders only. The emote has been pulled out of the store, and anyone who bought it got their crowns refunded and can request a free emote from the shop. The outfit has also been pulled from the store, but anybody who bought it will be able to keep it. If you bought the outfit and also complete all the challenges, then you can request a replacement from the store of a military grade or lower of your choice. You can request this through the email on the screen. Alright, so I'm pretty bummed about this one personally. Keyword here, personally. Maybe because this was the first season that I was actually going to try and do all the challenges. But it happened and we need to move on from it. An apology was given, and I'm sure everyone has made a mistake at one point in their job once, so let's just move on from that. So yes, there's also new emotes in the store. It's very weird that they did not put any of them in the battle pass or even promote them when the update came, but they're pretty fun, so go check them out in the gestures tab. Of course, the key point of the update was the new map of Myren. Most of the feedback on this map seems to be very positive, and it's of course a great map. I really like it personally. It's a very dynamic map. To give you guys an idea, there are 30 locations where signal spawns. Most of the maps only have 5 to 8, so this really creates a lot of dynamic situations. I asked if they were going to rework the older maps to fit this design, but there are no plans at this point to rework older maps in ways that they would add spawn locations for POIs. They do look at smaller ways to tweak and improve maps, but nothing big is planned. People also asked if the new buildings would come to the older map, but the answer is also no at this time. The 2 buildings at the border post that are now sealed off will be added to Mirin at a later point in time. I asked if the loot would be tweaked for Mirin, as I feel the loot is low on the map compared to other maps, but it doesn't seem that they have any tweaks planned. They might look into the data, so maybe they will tweak it, but it's not sure. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the loot on Myren. I'd love to hear what you guys are getting. My average loot is around 5,000. The amount of players was also discussed with a request to add more players to the map, but the devs explained that they settled on 12 to keep everything balanced in terms of loot and gameplay. Small announcement was made for the next event. Booster Apocalypse is coming on the 31st, which is next Wednesday, until the 2nd, and it will be 50% off this time instead of the usual 33%. During the stream there was also a lot of talk about the weapon overhaul and weapon balance, as well as jump shotting and drop shotting. Brian Evans recently did polls on this and the results were as expected. The majority wants a reduction in the movement in Vigor, especially with LMGs. The devs addressed this as usual. They said that they were going to be handling this with the major weapon overhaul that's planned for later this year. No real details were given on what we could expect, but one of the devs did try his best to explain all the minor tweaks that they could apply to both weapons and movement. People in the chat also asked for a melee rework, but the stream mod answered that all the focus is going to the weapons overhaul at the moment. I'm not sure if that means we could be expecting a next update, but I certainly hope so. Speaking of weapons, the devs mentioned that they were very happy with the release of the L96. A few small bugs on it have been reported and they would look into it. Besides all of this, we also had the usual questions. I'm going to start calling the frequently asked questions at this point. Bulk crafting is on their list, but not to be expected this year. Legacy seasons are not being removed at the end of this season, and we will be notified ahead of time. Crossplay, unfortunately no news on that front, still a goal by the developers. And people also asked about future support for Switch. Understandable, because the Switch has been losing some big titles recently, but the devs have stated that they do intend to keep Vigor updated for Switch and that they do regular updates to improve the performance on it. Smoke grenades and flamethrowers were discussed. Flamethrowers are a no-go at this moment due to the complex nature of fire or how it should behave, but smoke grenades, now that's where I got an interesting reaction from Muff. People pointed out that in the trailer the fireman throws a flashbang when he goes to save the man that got shot, and they all responded that it does make sense to throw a flashbang at your ally. When I asked about smoke grenades, Muff said that smoke grenades are a very logical thing to have in a game and in Vigor, as we already have the frag and the flashbang, and that it's something that the team is looking into. So now my theory, and I'm gonna need my tinfoil hat for this one, is that smoke grenades were supposed to be in this season as a consumable, but that it didn't get finished in time. So they had to pull it from the season and had to make an edit to the trailer. That's just my guess, of course. So maybe next season? Couple of small tweaks that I found. The flashbang does not unlock the locked container anymore, but it does set off things like the monkey bomb. The motion seems to have been buffed. Might want to go check out SOS Spitfire's latest video on that. Car alarms. Last season people said they don't go off very often anymore, but this season they seem to be going off more frequently. The dev said I did not tweak them specifically or mention any bugs, but I also feel they are going off a lot more again. Maybe the devs like to mess with us, turning them down one season and turning them back up next season, trying to make us feel safe and then exposed, I don't know. And last item for this video is the lack of plans in crates. The devs keep saying we need to go for higher tier crates, but people keep reporting that they don't get any plans at all. I personally made a dummy account 2 weeks ago to check out the new player experience and be able to collect data on Myren, and I don't see any plans appearing on that account either. So something is definitely wrong. Please dev, buff that drop rate right away. It's very discouraging for new players not to be able to craft simple bandages or even ammo for the guns that they want to use. This is one point where you rather tweak it to be too high than too low. You're not going to break the game or bring an imbalance by buffing that drop rate. So please help the newbies and bring more Outlanders to Vigor. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed these recaps, be sure to subscribe. I got some Myren gameplay coming as well from the past weekend. Thank you all for watching, see you all next video. Bye!